did Brian Kelly bring up to you what he said on a Zoom earlier today about maybe if they wind up in the Rose Bowl where COVID protocols are keeping fans from the stands, that they wouldn't play at a site that doesn't allow families in there? He was pretty hot about it. I'm wondering if did he bring that up with you at all?
He was emotional on our call. I could feel it catching in his voice when he was talking about the idea of players' parents not being able to see their sons play after all that families have been through this season.
Right.
This not being a typical year in that way. I think he felt more strongly about it. He did not proclaim that they would be reluctant to play in a game where the parents couldn't attend. I don't know what that's about. I seriously doubt if Notre Dame is seeded 2 or 3 and heads to Pasadena, and I'm presuming Alabama's going to win, by the way. If Alabama wins, they're a lead pipe lock to be in New Orleans as the top seed. And the 2-3 game would be in Pasadena, and you don't want to be the 4 seed in theory, so you like to be 2 or 3, which would put them, I don't know if it'd be Clemson, Notre Dame around 3 or what, but the 2-3 game is very likely to be there. It's certain to be there if Alabama wins. But yeah, I mean, do you think there's any chance you're out there? I'm not.
Yep.
Any chance that the rules do they make an exception?
No, sir.
I think they're lobbying. I don't have any problem with people lobbying and trying to leverage to get regulations changed. I just know that in California, relaxing regulations does not seem likely at this point, given what else is going on out there. But I don't know the climate that well.
I'll be very honest with you, Chris. That there was a video that went viral here in California and across the country of a bar owner who here in Los Angeles was told that she could not have any outdoor seating, that she spent thousands upon thousands of dollars putting together. And across the street, there was an outdoor tent for seating for craft services for a movie or a TV show that was being shot or a commercial. And there's a lot of sensitivities out here about making exceptions for businesses that that are not made for regular everyday businesses. It's really raw out here, man. There's no other way to put it. And I don't know the way through it. The 49ers, as you know, are a home team in Arizona because of what's going up in Santa Clara. It's just like every other part of our life where COVID is putting a thumb of pressure on every pressure point, and we're all feeling it. And that's one of the reasons why I was wondering, why didn't the college committee decide? And I understand, I guess Dabo Swinney's like, when I brought this up with him, he's like, we didn't want to extend the season another day. But, why not have 8 teams? You know what I'm saying? Like, we could avoid all this and get Coastal Carolina involved and do this. And just play just a couple extra games. Like, that. Did you ever hear anything about that to try and change things around in the same way that baseball did for its expanding playoffs and so on and so forth? Did you hear anything like that this year, Chris?
No, because there's no central control of the sport, Rich. Had there been, I think that makes a lot of sense. You could have done it from the start. The conferences would have had to start closer together. But you're right; it would have been a perfect year for an 8-team playoff. People have been clamoring for it anyway. I think you're seeing some other things unrelated to COVID in the sport that are kind of pushing us toward playoff expansion for very legitimate reasons. But because every conference, although they claim to be working and communicating together before this, really they're out there for their own interests, and that's the way it's always been. So the fact that they started at a staggered time kind of ruled out an expanded playoff, but it's too bad. I agree. This would have been a good year for it.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.